And good morning and welcome to VSA Couple of 5 Minute Morning Miner. It's Wednesday the 14th of September. It's chaos in the middle of London around Buckingham Palace, Green Park, Trafalgar Circus, take my word. Even at 6 o'clock this morning as I was cycling in, there were police, barricades, army, you name it. London is going to get really, really crazy this bank holiday weekend. And Paul is away this morning. So we've got Ollie. Morning, Ollie. How are you? How was your cycle ride?
Yeah, bit damp, but all good, thanks. How you doing?
Yeah, I sort of missed the rain, but anyway, there we go. I think we've got probably only about 2 bits of news ready today, but the first one is Central Asia Metals. Now, if Carlsberg did junior miners, it would be Central Asia Metals. I thought these were terrific figures, Ollie. Lovely dividend increase, and it is obviously a high yield stock. But talk us through from the analyst point of view.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing to say is commodity prices were really strong in this period. So by having good production figures and good cost control, they've really capitalized on that. The pullback in commodity prices only started right towards the end of June, so the average for the period was much higher year on year. So that fed through to revenue of 114 million on a net basis, which is up 13% year on year. EBITDA was $75 million, up 16% year on year. Net income $53 million, up 72% year on year. And so with capex weighted towards the second half, so that's when most of the work on the cut and fill projects starting to happen. Free cash flow was strong, and so the dividend, as you say, 10p a share, up from 8p in the interim period last year. Very strong. I think, there's credit due there, as obviously the general environment is very uncertain, and certainly around previous periods around COVID, dividend payments were cautious, and so to have a strong dividend payment when you've had a really good period, I think that's a positive step and show of confidence. It also helps that the debt's now been repaid on the Traxys loan, just after the period end. So now some of that higher capex is being covered by the debt repayments, especially now that prices have come back a bit. So the second half will probably be a bit tougher than the first half with lower commodity prices, but obviously with the low cost base, it'll still be strongly profitable.
Yeah, well done, Nick, Nigel, Gavin, Louise, all the rest of the board. You've done really well in my view. Now, also one of our favourites, because we just love pronouncing it, but they've had a bit of an update, and that is Guanajuato Silver. You're the expert there, Paul. What have they updated us on?
So G Silver has provided its sort of second update operationally from its newly acquired assets close by in Guanajuato, from the vendors Great Panther, who were operating on the other side of the city. So this is from the Valenciana mine complex, which is a 4.2 kilometer mine with various smaller mines making up a larger complex. And now that management has completed the acquisition and managed to sort of get underground and start to look at the data, this is the first set of numbers to show the potential that they think they can create from it, rather than just carrying on. So a bit of backstory. Great Panther ran out of tailings capacity and had to put the mine on care and maintenance in late 2021. So up until that point in the year, they produced about 1 million ounces of silver equivalent. So that was only down about 6% year on year through the whole year. So that gives you a pretty good idea of what the mine is capable of. But the average ore grades in 2021 were about 120 grams a ton silver and 1.6 grams gold. So there are some production ready stopes that the company can get straight into, and will probably be producing on that basis. But looking at the historical data, they've also identified some higher grade areas that haven't yet been mined, and the grades from there, some of those highlights are 1,053 grams a ton silver equivalent. That's made up of 658 grams a ton silver and 4.94 grams a ton gold over 1.5 meters, and 218 grams a ton silver equivalent over 7.6 meters. There's another 334 grams a ton silver equivalent over 12.65 meters and 616 over 8.77 meters. So these are thick mineralized intercepts with really good, strong grades, well above the previous averages. Obviously, it is when you average down and blend it across a mine plan, they'll come down a bit, but it's very encouraging as to what the potential.
Yeah, look, we do talk. Beyond. Yeah, we do talk about Guanajuato silver, or G silver, as you put it, Ollie, for those that want to shorten it without pronouncing it quite a lot. But it is a sort of mini Fresnillo, which is why, and we think it's a really interesting company that is going to really expand significantly, and that's why we talk about it quite a lot. It's a mini Fresnillo. People in London should understand this, but it's a great asset, isn't it?
Yeah, and with their first acquisition, El Cubo, the fact that Great Panther ran out of tailings capacity, El Cubo and Valenciana are, a couple of kilometers away. So what they can do by the end of this year is get Valenciana back into production, and start processing through El Cubo and use their own tailings capacity there, just to get things going again. So then they'll have 3 producing assets in Guanajuato: El Cubo, Valenciana and San Ignacio. And they'll also have the Topia mine up in Durango, which came with the Great Panther acquisition. So, that ramp up in terms of growth has steepened dramatically. Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, we like the management, James Anderson, and also he quite often comes to London. I think he may well be over in London in a couple of months' time. So if anybody's interested in Guanajuato silver, do obviously let us know. We'll try and get you to meet James. And who knows, Ollie, you and I maybe need to do a trip out there to see it. We talk about it so much. I think we deserve one. Yeah. Right, I think that's probably enough for today. Just two really good stories. We'll call it a day, and I'll be back with Paul tomorrow. Thanks.
Thanks, Andrew.